Oh shit! Now I'm sideways. What the fuck? What is happening? Anyway, welcome there. Okay, welcome to a one take podcast episode. Who gives a shit? Because my laptop is broken and whatever audio you're hearing, it's not my fault. Blame Tim Apple. Uh, who does this? Tim Cook now.
Tim Cook.
His
There
name
you
is
go.
Tim
The
Apple, Mr. Apple.
the, the ghost of Steve Jobs. Whatever. I think it's episode 190, right?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
This week we are doing a Netflix movie because the theaters decided to put out some shake out into the world.
The theaters decided to hold every good film until Christmas Day. Like, why'd you do that?
Right.
Out.
So after the Glickid craze, plus whatever was going on with Moana 2, it made $3 billion? How much money did Moana 2
Moana
make?
2 is making all the fucking money, and I still haven't seen one person give it a good review. But I also haven't talked to any 7-year-olds. So
Moana 2 is running parents' pockets across America right now. Like, everybody had to go take their kid to Moana 2.
You're going twice. Meanwhile, you're also paying for Disney Plus because that shit's going to be on there with a quickness too. So I don't know why you're doing that, but anything to get out of the house, I imagine.
I haven't seen Moana 2, but I know Moana 1 is one of the greatest films I've ever seen.
So Moana 1 rules.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
There's a grown 30-year-old man saying that with a straight face.
That's no Frozen, but it's cool.
It's better than Frozen.
It ain't, but that's
yes,
okay.
It is.
Do you want to take a guess at how much money this has actually made? I have it pulled up.
I think I saw a number, so I won't guess, but it's all of the money, all of it.
I'm gonna guess that it's past 700 million now.
726 million on a $150 million budget, which is crazy that it's $150 million because that's what they were going to spend on a television show because that's what it was.
That's insane.
It was a television show that they squished together into a movie. So
the fact that they were spending that kind of money on a TV show is insane. Also, the number I saw was over 700, so I knew that it had crossed 700, which is just insane, just literally insane.
This week, go ahead, Tish.
Is the Mufasa movie going to make that much? Because those reviews are not looking great.
No, it is not.
I don't know if anybody knows about the Mufasa movie. I know they're pushing it hard now, but like, have you heard anybody like, "Oh, I'm excited to see Mufasa"? Are they saying that at the water cooler at work?
I haven't asked any 7-year-olds, but I feel like all the Disney live action movies kind of stink and they make a lot of money. So I wouldn't bet against them in making their money. But I thought with Barry Jenkins, you can't really make a bad movie, but apparently I am wrong. Apparently you can. And Barry Jenkins, I'm glad that you got a lot of money and Beyonce and everyone involved with that project, but apparently it's bad.
I have no comment. I know why Barry Jenkins did it. Get your money, King. But also, why did Barry Jenkins do it?
The rest of us are better served that Barry Jenkins was doing quite literally almost anything else. But again, get your money, King.
Yeah, this week we are doing something that will make $0 in the theaters. But they got your money captive already. Netflix. We're doing Carry On. From, let's see, hold on. Because I know this guy because I've now watched like a dozen of his movies. And so have you. It is Carry On from director Jan Collet-Serra, who did such films as the Non-Takens from Liam Neeson.
Crank?
You actually watched those?
Oh, I have watched them. I watched it. Remember the other day when I said that I watched, oh crap, what was it?
I've seen Crank.
He did. Okay, so he's had a weird career. So he does House of Wax, which is like a bad film, but it's like a late night AMC classic on cable.
It's classic. It's got its
He does The Orphan, which gets good reviews and like does well. Does The Unknown with Liam Neeson.
This guy did The Orphan?
Yes.
That film fucking rocks.
So he does The Orphan, which gets good reviews. I believe it makes decent money. But then he does like The Unknown, which is like a pseudo action film with Liam Neeson, and that starts a trajectory of him doing these these not quite Taken movies with Liam Neeson, and most of them are not bad. They're all the same thing. I told y'all I watched Nonstop the other day, and it secretly rocks. Like, it's secretly awesome, and but he does these sort of really high concept, low budget action films with Liam Neeson, but then he becomes The Rock's director of choice to direct Jungle Cruise and then Black Adam, a movie that I don't know. We all said stunk. Like, I don't know what. I think we shat on it on this podcast.
It's not a we all said. Everyone said the movie.
Yeah, I wish that we could take credit for originating that "Hey, Black Adam stinks" take. But by the time we got to our recording, many people amongst the internet had already said, "Hey, this movie kind of stinks." So we can't even take credit for that one. But we did shit on it. We did do that. We did our job.
But then he goes back to his roots now, I guess, pseudo roots now with the same thing as Nonstop. Carry On. But this time, instead of plane cops, it's baggage cops before you get to the plane. I'll read what this movie actually is in the form of how we normally do this podcast, but yeah, I almost couldn't be bothered with it. It is what it is. It is what it like. You've seen the trailer. If you've seen the trailer, you know what this movie is. Enjoy it or don't. But a mysterious traveler blackmails a young TSA agent into letting a dangerous package slip through security and onto a Christmas Eve flight. Secret Christmas movie. It's on Netflix. Carry On, PG-13. Stars Taron Egerton, Jason Bateman, Sophia Carson, Danielle Detweiler, Dia Rossi, Logan Marshall Green, Dean Norris, Seneca Walls. A lot of like notable names in this movie. And yeah, I just gotta say, guys, loved it. I really think this movie is awesome. Make 18 of these, sir. I will watch every single one. That is my review. B+, sure.
We need the sequel checked bag. Like, we just have to
checked bag. Carry On.
I didn't love this as much.
Personal items.
I didn't love this as much as y'all did, but
this is shocking because you are my brother in shitty cinema.
I have too many questions.
You not liking this movie is stunning to me because, as I pointed out multiple times on this podcast, Ambulance stinks, and y'all are like, no, Ambulance hive.
Ambulance is fucking incredible.
Ambulance fucking sucks.
Ambulance rules.
Y'all love that movie,
and you're a hater.
How can you not love Carry On?
All the fun I had in Carry On was because Egerton is good at what he does, and I watched Blackbird, or at least most of Blackbird, and so I was already aware of his awesomeness, and also like having a villain like that is just fucking awesome. Having him play the villain, having I'm forgetting his name.
Jason Bateman.
Having Bateman as the villain was just fucking awesome. Like, there were scenes that were comedic, even though they maybe were not meant to be, because Jason Bateman's delivery is sometimes funny. So I like those two. But the plot of this movie quite literally makes no sense to me.
What do you mean?
There were so many times where I found myself asking questions, and that's not how you're supposed to watch these movies. When you're watching Taken, you're supposed to just fucking enjoy the ride. You're not supposed to be asking questions about the plot. I could not stop asking myself questions about the plot of this film. It just did not make sense to me, but I did enjoy it. I just did not love it. The plot got in the way of my enjoyment of the film, but those two guys did their jobs, and I think there's something to this Egerton guy. There's something about him as the protagonist that I really, really like, and this movie kind of confirmed it for me. After watching Blackbird, this movie kind of confirmed that I think he's going to have I think he's going to have a say in these kind of movies because he's just fucking great. He's perfect. He's perfect.
Can I let you in on a little secret? he's been the lead of like 15 movies.
Yes, but he's good, man.
Respect Mr. Elton John. All right.
He doesn't even fight in this movie very much, and it still works, which is to me crazy because you're supposed to have fights, but he rarely ever fights in this movie. He does have some fights, but it's not like he's fighting the whole damn movie.
He's not John McClane, but this is very funny because this is simply Die Hard 2.
Yes, basically.
They just remade Die Hard. They remade Die Hard 2.
Am I remembering correctly that he was like, so they were trying to make him the guy and put him in that Robin Hood movie with Jamie Foxx, or is that a different guy?
No, he was in that movie with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, they tried to make him an action hero before, and then he had his little like.
Well, he was in
musical theater.
What movie with Jamie Foxx?
They did a gritty Robin Hood bad remake.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
And it made no money. And I thought was going to reset the calculus on how we saw Taron Egerton because he was in the not The Gentleman. What was the this is great podcasting by me. I've had the longest day possible.
Oh, the fucking shit.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Say that one more time, Caitlin.
League of
Extraordinary Gentlemen. The Kingsman, Caitlin.
Yeah.
From outside the door here, was yelling Kingsman.
He's in the Kingsman movie? Okay,
he's the lead in the Kingsman movie.
I was sitting here like the movie with the church thing in it, like that one.
Yeah, the scene that everybody loves with Freebird. But
that movie fucking rules. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, so he's been around. Some would say he's the working man's Tom Holland.
Damn.
In fact, I would say that. Yeah, I'm making that bit.
He's the workhorse Tom Holland. He's the fucking Seth Rollins to Tom Holland's Roman Reigns. Wrestling fans.
You know how much I love Tom Holland's, but I'm gonna say this, and I apologize for anybody I offend.
Oh no.
Edgerton's better than Holland. Like, he's just better. He's not the working man's Tom Holland. He is the Tom Holland 2.0. He's better looking. He's swoller.
Better
looking. He is in better movies outside of, like, the Spider-Man movies are great, but I mean, come on. Edgerton is carving a lane out for himself that is more interesting than the lane that Holland is carving out for himself, other than being Zendaya's boyfriend. I say that with all due respect.
I say working man's Tom Holland because he literally works. Tom Holland hasn't been in a movie in 3 years.
Well, every time he is in a movie, we go, wow, his non-Spider-Man movies, not quite great. And I've watched them. I've tried with him.
Y'all didn't like Uncharted?
It was fine.
Uncharted was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're giving Taron Egerton credit for Carry On,
I would have Carry On and Uncharted around the same level. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, if
we're
giving him credit for being in good movies like Carry On, let's relax.
Carry On rules, guys. I don't know what y'all are balking at. I think
fine.
I think he should win an Academy Award for being badass.
It's short. It's not going to bore you to tears. And you'll have a little fun with the movie, but that's about the most that I can say in a complimentary way towards Carrie.
It is under 2 hours, but also too long. Cut 15 minutes out of this bad boy, and you are cooking with grease.
I think Bateman as the villain kind of is the thing that I will take away from this movie. I just want to see more Bateman, and I am not a stan of that horrible Breaking Bad redo show that he did that people seem to love. I actually hate that show, but I love Bateman. I love Bateman, and it feels like I haven't gotten a lot of Bateman because he's been making Ozark, a show that I'm not fond of. But I have always loved Bateman, and I love him as a villain, and I just want to see more Bateman. I just can't get enough of this guy. I cannot get enough of him.
Netflix has him in a 360 deal, apparently.
Yeah.
They have him locked in the basement. They will not let him out.
They will not release him.
He's doing Squid Games down there.
I think he's in another show, too. That's why he has the long hair here. But if you've seen him recently, he has, like, long hair and, like, a even thicker beard than like, Tej. And so, like, it's, yeah, they got him wrapped up. But, Dex, you like this even more than Tej. You watched it with your parents?
Yeah, I watched this with my parents. Smaller brother is back in town for the holidays also, so we all watched together as a family. Yeah, we just had a great time. It's great, mindless. Like, put it on the big TV. We're gonna watch Netflix together, like cinema. Um, Taron Egerton rules in this movie. I think he played he did what he needs to do at all times. Sometimes they have him being a little cuck like bitch boy, and then other times he like turned into a real like action person beating up random men in the airport and shit. It's great. But yeah, I had a good time. This movie makes zero fucking sense. You're not supposed to think about it. You're just supposed to, it's like a Jack in the Box taco, you know, the two for whatever tacos. It's like you just eat
two
it.
for $1.
Yeah, just eat it. Don't look at it. Don't smell it. Just eat it. All right. Don't ask any questions, and you'll have a great time.
How hungry are you compared to how much you're willing to invest in this?
Exactly. Like we're not here for real cinema. We're not here for gourmet eats. We have $1. We want tacos. This is what we got. And yeah, I think it serves that purpose really well. And you know, the twists and things like that don't really make any sense, but they're cool. Or like the ones that do make sense are so obvious that they're not even twists really. Like the there's like an agent in here that turns out to be a double agent or whatever, and it's like, yeah, everyone knew that. That's fine. But the whole time you're just like, yeah, I'm being fed. I'm enjoying this. This is cool. I gotta say, one of the things that I remember from this movie is the female lead just being the worst and just seemingly wanting to die the entire fucking time. Your TSA agent boyfriend is like running through the airport and it's like, hey, we have to go. And you're just like, no, I'm gonna stay in here actually.
No,
babe, what do you mean? You're being weird.
He doesn't get a pass. He knows a sniper is on his girlfriend. And if he believes that to be true, in which he does, because that's how he's operating, he literally runs to the front of the airport and he pulls her into literally the only place in the airport where a sniper could shoot her. That was when I was literally out of the movie. I said, all right, this guy's a fucking idiot. There is only one place in the airport where she could be sniped. And he happens to literally bring her to that area. You are not a serious human being. That's literally where I lost. That's where the movie lost me. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Guys,
that makes no sense.
I see that
being a cop.
I see that point, but also when she knows that someone is trying to kill her, and she runs away from all of the people to the corner of the parking garage.
Not literally the only place where no one can help you, and that's where she went.
Dark corner of the parking garage where there are no longer 80 people. It's like she just wanted to die. But yeah, I mean, overall, I had a good time. You get to the end of the movie and you're like, you know what? That was fun. I'm glad we watched that. Like, you know, that's all you can ask for. Am I going to sit here and tell you, yeah, this is a great movie, one of the best of 2024, which we'll get to later? No, I won't do that. But I will say I'm glad I sat down at the holidays and I watched this stupid shitty movie with my family.
I just realized I had said the title of this was Top 5 of 2025. We aren't there yet. I'm going to have to change that later. So really the only thing that like gets in the way of this movie is the plot, but the whole who's wanting to kill who because of what political motivation is like way over its skis. Like, it's just like they have no idea what they're doing with that, and I was like, huh? I was like, what? Why? Like, it's not for political. It's not for like paramilitary purposes, but it is now. And now you're going to get on the plane and try and kill the person, but you're going to get off the plane. It's so. The dumbest part to me of this movie is where suspend all disbelief from the technology or whatever. And that's what I tweeted about this movie is like, you have to suspend all disbelief. And that's fine. I do that every day with films and television. The one thing when the cop is talking to air traffic control and she's like, no, let the plane take off. I'm like, not in a million years. Like, they just would they'd risk them blowing up the bomb. They just would. You're not going to get up in the air. That was the one. Yeah.
I'm not gonna risk having a bomb go off in the air because your boyfriend said, "Trust me, bro, I got it."
Literally, it's like, oh, what is his training? Is he a cop? No, he's a TSA agent. All right, fuck it, I'll let the plane take off. I was
and
like,
not
wait.
even like a high level TSA agent. They would not give this man a promotion. He is trash at this job.
Yeah, it just like his boss gets killed. Like, yeah, he's very bad. They don't want to even promote him.
I feel like at some point in a day where like you have an employee allegedly drinking on the job, a guy like dies in the middle of the airport, somebody's just got to make the call. Like, hey man, like we're
shutting it down. Yeah, we're in a hard reset. Everybody's going through other gates. You know what I mean? We're we're dividing these people.
The vibes are off. Let's do something else. Let's try again.
I cannot believe that is where I was like, trust me, bro. You have to let the plane take off.
It was fucking awesome when the black cop ended up in the car with the ops, and you have the scene where they're fighting in the car, but also literally crashing. And sure, both of those people would have been immediately dead, but I didn't care. I was like, fuck yeah, turn that up. I'm having a good time.
And also that CGI was bad, but like I was also like, whatever, dude.
The CGI was bad, and also she just like limped off like Mahomes. Like, you know.
I'm playing on Saturday. Fuck it.
It's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna steal this car. Thanks.
At least 10 people died in that car accident, and literally nobody was dead. And she just walked away like shit was all good. But that's at least 10 deaths. Like at least 10 people died there.
Traffic is backed up still to this day. Like no cars have been able to use the freeway.
Tej, what is your platonic ideal of this kind of movie, though? I mean, I guess it's Die Hard with a Vengeance, but that's like it's too elevated for this.
It's Die Hard with a Vengeance, but I like the whole like, oh, they were actually going after this politician on behalf of the Russians. Like, oh no, they were actually going to get on this plane to go after this politician. I was like, this is every second you spend on this is literally making your audience dumber. Like, this is actually stupid. All we want to see is him and Bateman somehow end up in the bathroom again. Pause. Because that's when we have real cinema. That's when our two leads are just trading barbs. That's when he's pulling gun on Bateman, and Bateman's like, I'm not listening to you. He shoots the gun, and then Bateman's like, all right, we'll just do it your way. And he snaps into like Arrested Development Bateman. Like, that's what we want to see. We don't want to get the, oh my God, it's a twist. Everybody thought he was going to be in Terminal 7. We shut down Terminal 7. Now he's going elsewhere. Oh my God, he's the one getting on the flight. Like, all that hand wringing was just so stupid. It was a waste of every second of that spent on that plot point was a waste of time in the movie. But you know, you get to fight on the conveyor belts with the little bags go. And again, we're just doing Die Hard. Like, we're just doing what other movies have done, and I'm fine with that. Let's just do Die Hard 2 again. That movie fucking rocks. Let's do it.
We're already going too long on this movie. We said we would do 20 minutes on this. But I will say a couple of things that I did like about it. Having him, I mean, it is kind of silly. It is kind of silly that you wouldn't team up to then try and take down the bad guy. But having him fight the other guy that he also brings into it, because they kidnapped his husband. His husband was I think was really good. So they're not fighting the villain, but they're having to fight each other. So that's an interesting thing. But also having him and Bateman meet several times. Like in that nonstop movie that I watched, he doesn't encounter the real villains of the movie, and it's a mystery, so quote unquote. And you know that it's Bateman from the very beginning because it just sounds like Jason Bateman.
Because it sounds just like Jason Bateman. Like we all know his voice.
Yeah. So actually, guys, I don't know. That's a really good idea. But but having them meet multiple times in the bathroom, I thought was actually a really good bit to change it up a bit from where it's like, who's the villain, or oh my God, he's this other, this ether. He's out in the ether, or he's this mist that you can't grab as a villain. But no, they just were like, what's up, man? And they're just in the bathroom. He's like, you want some gum? You know, it's just, I thought all that, you're right, Tej, was really good.
Yeah, the everything that they tried to, if they tried to sound smart, it sounds dumb, and if they didn't try to sound smart, it was awesome. Basically, the entire time.
Yeah, I still just can't get over that they remade Die Hard 2, including putting it at Christmas Eve. Like, I wish they would just more films need to just be openly admitting that. Like, they're just like, we're just gonna do it, but call it a different name.
I like the title of this movie more than I like this movie. It's just such a simple check on. Yes, it's such a simple title. I'm in. I'm just in.
Oh, also, Jason Bateman. Spoiler alert for the whole movie. Jason Bateman's death. Don't know that I've ever seen that.
Yeah, definitely never seen that. That was cool. That was.
I mean, I'm sure I have, and people are gonna get mad at me, but like a nerve agent in a freezer in the bottom of a plane. Haven't ever checked that one off the box.
Yeah, that's cool. I fuck with that. Also, like when Taron Egerton like first went down into the cargo hold, I literally said out loud, "You can just do that."
Yeah, like this is the easiest shit in the world. Like to access the cargo hold, and literally no one's gonna say anything to him. Okay, like he didn't have to flash a TSA badge or none of that shit. He just walked down there. Like,
yeah, Bateman closes the curtain and then opens the bottom of the plane. I'm like, well, First of all, didn't know that was there. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but didn't know.
Yeah, you could just do that. Cool. Like next time I'm on a plane, I'm definitely looking. Like, you know,
man, they're gonna throw you in big jail.
Yeah, that's white privilege right there, because those white men are just accessing hidden compartments of planes, and nobody said shit. Like that's just crazy to me. But that's movie magic for you.
You get away with a lot being a mediocre white man. They let you try to defuse a bomb on a crowded plane.
And the crazy part is that, like, he didn't even say, "Hey, I can defuse this bomb on this plane." It was like his girlfriend being like, "Hey, my boyfriend can go."
Princess. I didn't see him do it actually, so I don't really know if he can do it. But we're having a kid, I guess, so I can trust him.
Yeah, I mean, he said he could do it. Trust me, bro. Like,
not only would the detective not have gone for that, and she would have literally grounded that plane immediately. Why did the girlfriend go for that? The girlfriend's just like, hey, my boyfriend with literally no experience whatsoever has represented to me that he disarmed a bomb, but also an hour ago I was accusing him of being weird and getting his best friend who's black fired. And now I'm just taking his word for it that he disarmed a bomb, and I'm gonna fucking let this plane land and potentially kill not only everybody on board, but also everybody who the plane lands on. Like, we've increased the amount of people that are gonna die if this bomb goes off by letting it take off. And the cop is just like, all right, fuck it, never mind. Let the plane take off. And I was like, what? Like, how
never underestimate the heart of a champion. He's got it.
He said that's you because you never won anything. Not only that, failed being a cop. He failed the entrance exam at being a cop.
Literally failed. Like, it's not good enough to be a cop.
He wasn't kicked out of the police academy. It was just like not good enough to be a cop.
Like, all you have to do is have a pulse to be a cop. Yeah. And they thought he was not good enough, but apparently he was good enough to literally disarm a bomb while the plane was in the air. And apparently they trusted him to do this, and he did it. So then he became a cop. So happy ending.
Yeah, also, I just never considered there being like a hierarchy at TSA. Being like,
I thought they were all the same.
Yeah, like, nah, buddy, you can't handle the detector. You're on the bench. You're gonna enjoy doing these pat downs, brother.
Yeah, you're working metal detectors, doofus. Yeah, I've never once considered that. I thought, well, maybe they have a boss, and then they just go intermittently. But I guess it's like any other job. You gotta report up.
Yeah, you gotta make your way up to the top.
I think what this does do a little, some of it's heavy-handed, but it does do it a little well. It's like, how much people are dickheads to TSA?
Yeah, it's like you're literally all in danger of dying right now, but everyone's like, I need to fly to fucking Reno. All right, like,
yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
Decisions that I have made in my life have put me behind for this flight. So now I'm going to take it out on you.
If I don't get to fucking Palm Beach by 3:00 tomorrow, everyone's gonna have a
Can
bad day.
Can I do this rant real quick? I've flown a lot over the past couple of years, especially this year, covering sports. How long have we been in post 9/11, guys? It's on the calendar. 23 years. We all know how to fly. If you do not know how to do this, to go through a TSA line, don't fly. In fact, never get on an airplane. You don't get a ticket. You actually got to take a test to see. You take off your shoe. Do I take off my belt? How long have we been doing this, guys? Laptops out, in the bin. Shoes off, in the bin. Belts off, in the bin. Hats off. In fact, sometimes they make you take your hoodie off. Figure it out.
Laptop, separate bin, all right?
Laptop, separate bin. I'm tired of like I cannot comprehend. It is at every airport that you go to that people look, I am fully aware that people may be flying for the first time in their lives. I get that. But they're yelling at you to do the thing. Every TSA agent is just standing there repeating the same mantra. Laptops in a separate bin. Hats off in a bin. Shoes off in a bin. And they're just like, does it go in the bin? You're like, God, oh my God. Anyway, you TSA pre-check elitists are going to, just say, just do TSA pre-check. No, I refuse, actually, in fact.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing all that. And they're like, it's free for what? No, I'm not doing that. Something about it just gives me the ick. I don't know.
In fact, I would say it's a scam. I don't know that that's a fact, but I'm just going to say that it's a scam.
There's just something about it that I'm like, nah, that's some bullshit. Something ain't right.
Wait, because you're on a magic list, now you don't have to take off your shoes? What?
Yeah, they just decided you can't.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Pre-check is the greatest invention of all time. We were not doing that.
You just signed up and said, "Hey, I'm not a terrorist," and they were like, "You sure?"
And they looked into my background. They said, "You were right. You're not a terrorist. Keep your shoes on." It's the little things that count.
I refuse to be profiled. That's what I'm like. Anyway, it's like for those of us who aren't rich like Tej that don't have TSA pre-check.
The best $100 I've ever spent in my life.
Figure it out. That's all I'm asking. Watch a YouTube video. I bet there is one that'll tell you how to get through TSA. And on top of that, stop being mean to TSA agents.
Yeah, why everybody gotta get attitude all the time? Like we do, like you said, we've done this forever. All right, just take goddamn shoes off. It's nothing in the world. Keep moving.
Although one time I did get an attitude because the one time that I have been searched randomly was at the Waco airport, which if you've never been to the Waco airport, it's like half the size of a Target. And I got pulled out of line going on a flight to Dallas to get randomly searched. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? And they were like, no. You have to be searched before you get on this domestic 30-minute flight. And I was just like, that's the one time I've been really irate. Anyway, that's been traveling stories with Royden Ogletree. Do y'all want to do top 5 of 2024?
Yeah, I also just want to say real quick that this movie, I think, goes to the top of that cinematic universe. I don't know what the name of it is yet, but with like plane and ambulance and like all of those one-word dumb movies. I think this is probably my favorite of those.
Is this one word? Is carry on one word? It has a hyphen.
Yeah,
it's 2 words.
I mean, a hyphen makes it one word.
But the one word is plane. It's a plane movie. It's a train movie. It's a car movie. It's an ambulance movie. That's the universe.
I'm counting it. I would like
this one honorable mention.
I would like to bring it to the committee and say let's get a vote on this. I think it counts as one word.
Well, I will just say that this has gone and go follow me on Letterboxd at Roy Ogletree, but it has gone into my hell yeah brother canon on Letterboxd. There's now about 75 movies on that list. So
not
if
enough
you want the
explosions.
list, not enough explosions, but just enough excitement to be on the hell yeah brother.
Speaking of which, do you remember when that fucking airport explosion happened in Tenet? That shit fucking ruled. I just thank you so much for giving us so much Nolan. I greatly appreciated the parts of Tenet where I can understand the dialogue. Yeah.
Yes, Sir Christopher Nolan.
He made like $25 million by putting Interstellar in theaters again. That's just insane to think about. That's insane.
I will say, no, I don't remember that scene, Teach, because I still haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Tenet?
Not all of it, nope.
Well, it's that airplane scene is good. It's good. Okay, let's do our top fives of the year.
Okay, so we're going to do top 5 of 2024. And I just want to preface this with saying, look, we're big time movie boys. We see all the popular movies. In fact, we're going to end up seeing all the Oscar movies. But I live in the middle of Texas. These two, again, coastal liberal elites get to see way more movies than I do. Sing Sing actually came to theaters where Tej lives in beautiful sunny Los Angeles. That movie isn't out anywhere. So, like, half of this stuff...
It rocks, too.
Half of the best movies we just haven't seen yet. And in fact, I don't know if we will see until 2025.
Yeah, fact.
And so these are basically, and this is what we do every year, basically, our favorites that we have seen. So don't be going like, well, where's the Brutalist? It's like, nobody's seen the Brutalist.
Nobody's
you know what I mean?
seen the fucking Brutalist, all right?
So that's all I'm saying.
Well, my number 5 movie is the Superman trailer. So,
dude. Hey, yeah. Can we talk about that?
The fucking Superman trailer bangs. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to hear from you, Snyder fucks. I don't want to hear from you guys. This is about us. Gunn has done it again. That's the most heartfelt Superman thing I've ever seen in my life, and it was 3 minutes. And that fucking dog is so cute, and I will be there no matter what. I'm still torn apart from what he did and the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That shit made me cry. It makes me cry just thinking about it. And he's gonna fucking do it again with Superman, and I cannot wait. I am it.
This has to be what Drake fans felt, or Drake haters felt like this year, because I pronounced Zack Snyder Hive dead like 2-3 years ago, and it just keeps dying more and more every day. And, like, I just can't, like, I can't miss. I like, as soon as the Batman came out, I wrote my review and I was like, "Yep, Zack Snyder, he's dead. It's over." Like, that whole shit cooked. And ever since then, every single time that anything related to the DC universe has come out, I've just been like, "Yep, Zack Snyder even more dead than he already was."
I had this take, and honestly, all I've been inundated with, the For You page is inherently broken because it's just all incels and like Nazis. But like the whole thing was inundated with this looks like shit, yada yada yada. But then the follow-up tweets would be like, "Oh, we used to have real cinema," and then it's just the Man of Steel. Guys, y'all were 10 when the Man of Steel came out. We were there in the theater. That movie is a hot mess, and I like that movie. But stop with this incessant need to try and create a universe that you'll never get. And like,
and that no one actually wants, including Snyder. Look, guys, please leave us alone.
Done. He's actually done too. And so my whole thing with this is that I had this take that I texted y'all, and I just want to talk about this really quickly. DC fans can't like anything. They just refuse to like anything. If you call yourself like a super DC fan, it's like mostly goes hand in hand now online. I will say that. Twitter isn't a real place, but you know what I mean. Movie discourse on Twitter is real though. But like, it goes hand in hand with the like sort of the Snyder stuff, whereas they're trying to create something out of nothing. So much so, and shout out to Andrew Hamilton, good friend at work and who I do a video game show with. He said that DC fans, or at least Snyder fans in general, have now become sort of the new Star Wars fans, where they're trying to recreate something in the aggregate of what they want in their mind. And when it isn't that, they go ballistic. But then they're trying to reclaim something that wasn't even ripe for the reclaiming in the first place. The Man of Steel is a mess, guys. They're trying to retweet that trailer of the teaser trailer for The Man of Steel, which is a good trailer. And I said on Twitter, the funny thing is, this is a good trailer. What it eliminates is the back 3/4 of the movie, which are crazy garbage.
Insanely crazy garbage.
I like that movie too. It is a jumbled mess. I keep saying that. Anyway, they just refuse to like anything new. James Gunn, and also we just saw this with Wicked, we never learned this lesson, and in fact we didn't on this podcast. You never learn your lesson of really looking at trailers. Sometimes you can get it correct, but we've done this all the time where we look at trailers and we're like, that's going to be shit. And I think it's gotten worse.
Yeah,
I think it's gotten way worse. Yeah, where instead of like, oh, that looks good, that looks bad, it's like, that looks bad and it's going to suck forever. It's never like, people won't even get like people, and I guess this has been through the beginning of time, but people won't give things a chance now because of perceived biases within a trailer. And I just like, I don't know.
The Megalopolis trailer exists and it happened. And that movie, that trailer was as bad as that movie was. Like everything you need to know about how bad that movie is literally right there in the trailer. It's all.
What do you mean, Cheech? That's my number 5 for
24.
Remember that time in Megalopolis that he could literally like see the past or see the future? And it did not matter to the movie whatsoever.
Yeah, nobody cared.
That's the greatest movie ever.
Go back to the
club.
A relevant plot point that he could literally see the future.
God, I don't think we shat on that movie enough. I think that podcast is really funny that we did, but I don't think we shat on it enough, actually.
They had their virgin goddess queen or whatever in a sex scandal, and then we just never talked about it again.
Go back to the club.
What a film.
I want you to look at this boner. I mean, just like
Aubrey Plaza just in there, just having the time of her life. Just saying,
she was in a movie. She was in a movie. I was looking at I keep a running list, not off of Letterboxd, just like in a long line. I have all of the movies that I've seen since 2022 in a notes app, and I was thinking that I remember it being a good year for movies, but I was just over the past few weeks, I'm like, have I really seen that many good movies this year?
Yes.
And in fact, I think I've seen less movies this year than I have in the past 3 years of doing this podcast, just because of work, and also releases this year too have been weird schedule wise. But looking back, I think we got some heat on this list, guys. Actually,
this is a sneaky good year for cinema. People have been
I'm still here, guys. Tell me your 5. I'm still here.
Okay.
But yeah, people have been kind of iffy on some of the stuff because some of the more noteworthy movies aren't necessarily great. You have your real shake hands, like your Madam Webs and your Godzilla X Kongs or whatever, but
Craven.
Apparently Moana 2, but yeah, there's some gems in here. It's a really
Joker Folie à Deux, guys. Remember? I remember. And I don't even know because I'm just looking at the list and I really didn't do this because of work. So y'all are gonna have to kind of carry this while I kind of get this right in my head. But Tej, start with your number 5 on the year. Tej died. Dex, start with your number 5 on the year.
Yeah, I'm going to. There's so many good ones. I'm going to go with the movie that I just haven't really stopped thinking about since I saw it. And I'm going to pick. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna do it. Speak No Evil. I really enjoyed that movie. And like I said, I haven't stopped thinking about it since we watched it and did the podcast on it. I thought it was like it's just one of those movies you just can't get out of your head, you know. And like, well, at least I couldn't. And I kind of want to go back and watch the original, but I'm still a little iffy on that because you made it sound really fucked.
Way more fucked and bleak. It is, yeah. It's not for the faint of heart.
But yeah, I really liked. What's our lead in that movie?
McAvoy.
McAvoy. Yeah, I really liked him in that, and it was very tense, and you know, you see the main, I guess, twist-ish of the movie kind of coming from a mile away. I mean, it's called Speak No Evil for a reason. But yeah, like I said, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. I also like got a poster of it and have it at my desk at work, so that's part of it. But yeah, I've got that at my number 5. It's just like not the best movie of the year, but one of my favorites. One of the ones that I'm going to come away from this year telling people about.
Do you want to keep going? Because apparently Tej just said that he'll be right back. Do you want to just go down your list?
Cool. Yeah, I'll keep going. I'm going to put. This might sound low, and I do love this movie. I think it's really good. It, like we've been talking about, it might win the Oscar, but I'm gonna put Anora at number 4.
Okay.
The ending, I've seen a lot of people, like, as more people start to see the movie or whatever, people talk about how devastating
did it come out like
and all that
on VOD. Is that why so many people are tweeting about it now?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. I feel like it's out more, like, it's got to be online somewhere by now, but I'm just not. I don't remember there being like a big announcement or whatever, like, hey, it's out. Like, but it seems like more people are just talking about it now. But yeah, the ending still leaves a little bit desired for me to like keep it from being like in my top 3 or top 1 or whatever. But I'm gonna put Anora there. At number 3, I'm going to go with. Oh God, it's such a tough. It's tough to rank the top 3. My top 3 are very obvious to me.
Yeah,
but it's like hard to rank them. I feel like I'm going to put Dune Part 2 at number 3.
Low to me, dude. I think that's low.
My top 3 are all like neck and neck, honestly. But like Dune Part 2, incredible film. Denny did his thing. Dune Part 1, I didn't really enjoy much. Like, I thought it was pretty fucking boring, to be honest with you. Beautiful gowns, but like I just was unmoved by any of the plot or world building or whatever. But then, yeah, he brought it all together in Part 2 and made it fucking badass and beautiful gowns and like made me give a fuck about Paul as a character, which I thought was going to be impossible after watching Dune Part 1. So I'm locked in for Dune Messiah when that comes, but I haven't watched the HBO show yet.
I cannot be bothered.
Yeah, abolish the cinematic universe, man. Sick of making movies. Like, let's just.
Yeah, Dune Part 1 has grown in my estimation. I think we said on this on the Dune Part 2 podcast, which you can go watch on this feed, or listen to actually. But it has grown in my estimation after I rewatched it drunk one night till like 4 a.m. in the morning. And after it's kind of a double-edged sword because you always want to experience things for the first time, right? But that is a movie that is like once you rewatch it and you just know where you are, you're like, oh, okay, this is awesome, actually.
Yeah, they were
And
setting this up, and then this is like,
yeah,
like it is better now having seen Dune 2,
yeah.
but I'm still not like, oh my god, I love Dune 1. Like, I'm not trying
I,
to marathon them, you know?
no, not back to back. But I will say that Dune Part One is better than I think we went back. Like Tej will still say it's a boring piece of shit, but the I think the last 45 minutes of that movie rip actually, which is a slog to get to, but it is great. And yeah, we were all in theaters breathing on each other in 2021 just to go see that movie.
Just to be fucking slapped in the face with that part 1 popping up
Yeah,
on the fucking title card. And speaking of, my number 2 is
Wicked.
part 1. I'm a sucker for musicals, still always have been. And they fucking nailed it. They hit it out of the park. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are just electrifying on screen. Not every musical number is good. There's a couple stinkers in there, but like every musical number that they're in is good to me. And yeah, like the choreography is great. Like the costumes and things are great. Like the set design. My man's like turning on a giant wheel at a library is awesome. Like, and you get to the end of the movie and it just Defying Gravity just hit so hard, made me so emotional. Um, and now my Instagram feed is all like just Wicked content.
Wicked content.
I'm just going to come away from this year like, yeah, Wicked is one of them ones, and I can't wait for part 2. I'm so glad they filmed it all together, so we don't have to like do what we did with Dune, where it's like we wait a few years to get part 2, and we're like not sure if it's going to happen. But yeah, Wicked Part 1 is my number 2, and I have a number 1. Ultimately, when I search my art, it's just like the movie that I'm going to come away like the most from 2024, just being like that movie fucking ruled, and like I partially like defined how I talked about other movies in 2024. It's Challengers. Like it's Challengers.
I don't think you'll be the only one with that as your number 1.
I like, man, that as soon as I sat down in the theater, I was locked in the entire time, just riveted by whatever was happening on screen. Super immersive, super engrossing. Like the soundtrack is fucking amazing. Like some of the shots that they're doing, like during the tennis matches, are amazing. The plot and Zendaya, like just being the worst person of all time and just pitting these two best friends together and ruining their lives. Like it's awesome, man. And like I said, it's changed the way that I talk about other movies, and like the way that I like consume other media has been affected by like, oh, this is some Challenger shit. Like, you know, like it's just one of those. It just had to be my number 1. But yeah, like I said, Challengers, Wicked, and Dune Part 2 were like for sure my top 3 in some order, and deciding on the order was tough. Like you ask me again tomorrow, I might like remix them, might move Wicked up, might move Dune up, like whatever. But I feel like the most times that I run the simulation, Challengers is going to be number 1.
Josh O'Connor, James Bond? Question mark?
No.
As soon as we got that report, we literally got the report that James Bond is on indefinite leave because everything's fucked up. So the dirty scoundrel man is not going to be our James Bond. But
not my James Bond.
Not my James Bond.
Tej, give your 5, man.
I had 14 movies that I consider for this prestigious list.
I'm looking at it now. I think I got 20 movies, and I'm going to be mad at myself after I give my 5 because I know it's going to be wrong.
I already am mad at myself, by the way.
There were some hard cuts. This is a good movie year, man. My number 5 is Twisters. It's just a perfect movie.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's just fucking perfect. I had such a great time. Glenn Powell is really him. They fucking crushed every aspect of that movie, from the marketing to the experience. I've watched it in theaters twice, and I loved every second of it. So my number 5 was Twisters. My number 4 is Wicked. I love Wicked, the stage show, and I just cannot believe that they were able to make a film that good and those two lead actresses be that good and those songs hit that hard in the movie theater. That was real fucking cinema. I can't wait to see it again. I can't wait for part 2. Like Dex was just saying, I'm glad that we're getting part 2 immediately, like next Christmas. I will be there. Sorry, I started getting a phone call. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us is the question.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I got a phone call and it fucked up everything.
We're done. We're not gonna get his top 5.
Okay, I can't hear y'all, but y'all can hear me.
Yes. Live podcasting. I'm gonna have to cut all this
while we wait
out.
on Teej, I'm going to just go ahead and say that I can't believe that you let me put Speak No Evil into my top 5 and didn't say, "Hey, where the fuck is Conclave, you monster?"
Look, I don't know. Like, I don't control what you say or do. It may be on my list because I'm a real movie boy, but to each their own.
Yeah, that was dumb. I'm already mad at myself. But
I'll give you the chance to redo it.
Yeah, we're gonna rerun that. Give me Conclave F5, Anora,
Okay.
and then Dune 2, Wicked, and Challenger.
I think that's the right list.
Yeah, I was looking at my notes app because I try and keep track of like all the new movies that I watch in notes also. And I was like scrolling through and like Speak No Evil like jumped out at me and I was like, oh yeah. Fuck, I love that movie.
I felt something.
That shit meant something to me. And then fucking Conclave. Conclave is 5. Sorry everyone. I just lost Pat Pope election.
Did you switch one of your movies?
I did.
He just did while you were. Actually, we had a conclave of our own. So, Dex, what is your new list?
My new list is Conclave, Anora. Well, from 5 to 1 is Conclave at 5, Anora at 4, Dune 2 at 3, Wicked at 2, Challengers at 1.
Oh, fuck! I forgot about Conclave.
Right? See, guys, we gotta be on our toes here because I was also going to forget about it.
I think I have the same 5 as Dex in different order. Are your 5 Conclave, Wicked, Dune 2, Anora, and Challengers?
Yep.
That is my 5, except where I have Conclave 5.
Twisters, though.
I'm knocking Twisters down.
Okay.
Conclave 5, Wicked 4, Dune 2, 3, Anora 2, and Challengers 1.
Let's go.
That's my list.
Wow,
man,
same exact
I didn't want to have the
list.
same list as Dex, but I can't. Those are the 5 that I love.
Guys,
the most.
we are basic bitches on this podcast.
What were your 5, Roy? And please don't say you have the same exact 5.
No, I don't. I'm changing just for the sake of parody.
Someone's got to take Carry On. Someone's got to take Carry On.
Right. No, the movie that you just said was all ass. So just for the sake of changing it up here, I'm going to take Twisters at number 5. Twisters, I felt it in my bones, guys. When that oil rig blows up,
man,
and I watched it the other day on a plane. It doesn't hit the same, obviously, and I don't think it'll hit the same when I watch it on a bigger TV. But in the theater, if I get to rewatch that in a theater sometime again, I have to do it. I have to do it. Let's see. I got to put Conclave on here, I think at number 4, because I will say I gave that movie like an A+, or an A. So I also did that for Wicked, but I'm not going to have Wicked on my list. It's not as high in my estimation as it is to y'all. But I'm going to put Conclave on there. I think at 4. I think I'm going to do. Yeah, I got to do it this way. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga at number 3.
That was on my short list as well. I fucking love Furiosa. I know we're the only 3 people
Yeah.
in the world that
You're
saw
right.
it, but it was great.
It's just us. But
I had a good time.
Oh man. See, this sucks because I have one that really made me feel something, but I don't know. Actually, I gotta take it off. I'm sorry, Furiosa. You've been discredited enough this year. I gotta take you off because I'm looking back at my list.
The hits keep coming for Furiosa.
The hits keep coming. You're on the short list. You're probably number 6. Number 3 is The Wild Robot. I gotta give some love to animation.
Okay, yeah.
That movie made me feel things that I wasn't prepared to feel, and I wish that I would have felt that way about Inside Out too, but I just didn't. The Wild Robot hit those feelings
on my short list as well. I haven't seen The Wild Robot, but the Inside Out 2 is on my short list.
The Wild Robot is real cinema, as is Inside Out 2.
Yeah, I think The Wild Robot's like just the betting favorite. Go ahead and lay that money down on Best Animated Feature for The Wild Robot. Number 2 is Anora.
Real cinema.
I don't know. Besides Twisters, I don't know if I've had as much fun in the movie, which is weird to say about that movie. But the whole second act of that movie, I felt like I was doing drugs. I thought I was doing. It felt like I was doing cocaine in the middle of that movie, and just the kinetic energy of it. It's unbelievable. I think it's. I mean, I don't. At this point, I actually don't know if it's going to win Best Picture anymore. But it deserves all the award nominations.
Wait, is there a new favorite?
No, I don't know. Like, there's just like, I think it's more of a toss-up than it was last year. Like, Oppenheimer ran away with everything, but there's not an Oppenheimer this year.
I gotta tell you, man, I've said this before. It might be just like my Instagram algorithm just making me think this. I don't think anything's beating Wicked this year, man.
I kind of will be upset if that's the case.
It's hard for me to see a movie like that is actually that good and means that much to people losing.
I'll be fine if Wicked wins Best Picture. I'm not gonna lie.
My main complaint about it is that we said it on the podcast. It just looks like shit, and like it is a part 1, and we're just gonna do that now. I don't know. Anyway, I liked Wicked. Don't get me wrong, but my number 1, which actually, I'm shocked that it's not getting more love for Best Picture. I think it maybe just came out too early. Dune Part 2 is the best movie of the year, guys.
I thought that it was. I was going to think that after walking out of the movie theater, and it fell to 3rd on my list because of how much I've enjoyed other films. But Dune 2 goes fucking insane. It is an insanely great movie.
And it's good every time you watch it. I've watched it like 4 times at this point.
I think it's the only movie I saw twice in theaters. And it just blows you. If you see it on a huge screen, it just blows you away. It's unreal.
I don't give a shit about Dune 1, and Dune 2 really moves the needle for me. That is real cinema.
That's what Florence Pugh would do for your film. That's all I'm saying.
Most fan cams of any movie made this year, maybe. Yeah.
And also, man, like Timmy had a run this year. Like,
boy, did he! I think he's going to get nominated for that Bob Dylan movie.
He really did.
He's
on the campaign trail hard.
Because for a while, I feel like we were the official podcast of Timothée Chalamet. Doubt, like we were
100%.
All of us were like, I don't know, buddy. Like they tell me you're the chosen one. I don't see it. I don't.
Too skinny. Got to get his weight up. Can't do it. Can't do it in the post.
And now he's Lasan Al-Gaib. Like we're all on the.
And he has ball knowledge. Like what a year for that guy. What a year for that guy.
So I think I went Twisters, Conclave, The Wild Robot, Anora, and Dune Part 2. Again, we haven't seen movies such as The Brutalist or Queer or September 5th or Nickel Boys or
I saw Sing Sing and it was on my short list. Also, Alien Romulus was on my short list.
Oh yeah, honorable mention. Yeah, I want to do. Tej, what are your honorable mentions?
Furiosa was on mine. The Substance was on my short list, which I loved. Smile 2 was on my short list. Monkey Man. Y'all remember Monkey Man?
Yes, sir.
It was on my short list.
Monkey Man was on my short list, and then Inside Out 2. So I came up with about 15 movies and I had to pick 5. But those were the movies on my short list that I thought maybe would get into the top 5. But unfortunately, it's been such a strong year. My top 5, I just love these films, and they are great on every level. And the fact that a Twisters doesn't make my top 5 is just a statement on how strong of a movie year I thought it was, because I fucking love Twisters too. Like I love Twisters. I thought it was phenomenal.
I'm pretty blockbuster heavy, but I will say I kind of left Challengers off my list to like not copy y'all, to be honest, for the sake of like trying to change it up here on the podcast. But do not get that twisted. It's like 5B, honestly, on my list. It's I felt something in the theater, guys. I will say.
Zendaya and Chalamet really have run the year. And I say that knowing full well that Wicked might just sweep everything at the Oscars, which I would be fine with, because Wicked is real cinema as well. What a year.
Dax, do you have any more honorable mentions? Of course, you mentioned Speak No Evil, but
yeah, that can't be in the top 5.
Another movie I like.
Ridiculous for having said that now after realizing I forgot Conclave.
I would have let you cook with it. I would have let you rock with it, but
yeah, But Speak No Evil, honorable mention, Twisters, obviously. A movie I really liked that y'all didn't like nearly as much, but I was a big fan of the Bike Riders. I liked that movie. And then let me look here again. I feel like there were more. My Old Ass, shout out. Like,
yeah, that's on my short list.
Pound for pound, like like that got some. That was pretty good.
They may have been the Indiana in this bracket, but they were in there.
And then Monkey Man, we all mentioned. We all love that one. Sucker for a Revenge movie. Twisters, obviously. Yeah, I would say those are kind of the main ones. Gladiator 2, I really enjoyed. It'd probably be in my top 10. Yeah, not really a top 5 contender at the end of it, but I enjoy Gladiator 2.
Yeah, on my honorable mentions, of course, Furiosa, Monkey Man, Hitman, which technically came out in 2023, but no, it didn't. I had the Bike Riders. I also had, let's see, We Live in Time, which I really enjoyed, even though it's not the best movie, but I really enjoyed it. My Old Ass, and then let's see, of course, Challengers would be on there, but for the sake of changing it up, A Quiet Place Day One. We didn't really talk about that.
Man, I forgot that movie even happened, but I did like it.
Yeah. And Civil War, which y'all kind of balked at, but that theater experience was wild.
I kind of liked it,
dude. So watching it in the theater, I thought it was fine, but it's one of those movies that's kind of like grown in my estimation the farther away I get from it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you why. Like, just
right.
The longer it's been since I've seen it, the more I'm like, you know what? Actually, Matt, decent,
solid movie. Some other things we've seen, but I don't know, mentioned. I mean, there is I really like Saturday Night, the Saturday Night Live movie that came out.
You got to get to it.
Yeah, late contender, Transformers 1, a little bit more animation there. It's on Paramount that you can watch it as well too. But
if you can use the app.
And guys, oh yeah, if the app isn't inherently broke, don't even get me started on that. And Trap. What? Y'all didn't like Trap? Come on.
No. It was fine. It was fine.
Oh, real quick, what's the worst movie that we saw this year?
Is it not Metropolis or
Megalopolis?
It feels like Megalopolis, but I gotta say, like, when you add in like actual expectations and like what we were at least kind of sort of hoping for, Megalopolis had no hope. But Joker 2, man, what the fuck?
Joker, what a wet.
Okay, I changed my vote to Joker 2. That shit stunk.
Megalopolis, we all kind of went in expecting it to be like a piece of shit and like get our joke
It was, yeah.
And it was, but Joker 2, it was like I don't think any of us really like Joker, but it was at least like, you know, these are serious people trying to make a serious movie, even if it's bad. And then it just wasn't that. It was the most unserious bullshit I've ever seen in my life. I felt like I was being personally disrespected the entire time.
Was Madam Web this year?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
So I didn't see Madam Web or the Hunter one, the Craven. I don't, I've never seen one of the Sony villain movies, so I can't count those. But I'm voting for Joker 2. No movie made me feel worse, and I don't mean that in a good way or a way that is being respectful of the film. They put Lady Gaga in a movie that I hated, which is I did not think was possible.
I didn't think it was possible. I thought she would never miss.
I did not think that was
incapable.
Possible.
I literally told Royden for most of the year, "Hey, Lady Gaga's in it. It's gonna be fine. She can't miss." And then she just kept missing over and over.
Absolute piece of garbage.
You said, "Listen to me now, believe me later," and I'm here to tell you, you should have done that with me, dude. I've been yelling it from the rooftop. That thing was going to be a piece of shit from the very beginning. I hated that. Oh, ugh. Yeah, left a bad taste in my mouth. Ugh. It's not like an affront, but the Amazon Jake Gyllenhaal Roadhouse movie it's not as big as Joker 2 either. Like Joker won Oscars, so Joker 2 being a big stinking fart was like kind of an affront to everyone, a slap in the face. That Roadhouse movie, it's nothing, but oh my god, it was so bad. Oh man, that movie stunk. Yeah, anyway. Just looking at lists of movies now.
I'm just looking.
Did we mention Alien Romulus?
I did. It was on my short list.
I'm just looking at movies I saw, and like some of them are not even like they're not great. They're not terrible. They're just movies that I want to mention that that happened this year, and I saw it. It Ends With Us. Yeah, that happened. They tried to get Blake Lively the fuck out of here. Maybe they succeeded. I don't know.
That movie made $8 billion.
Yeah, but everyone came out of it just being like, "Oh, Blake Lively sucks." Actually, which, like, she's always kind of sucked as an actress. She's been on that border of like, is she the worst actress I've ever seen? Is she actually okay,
or is she fine?
Yeah. But yeah, It Ends With Us. That happened. Beetlejuice. That happened.
Oh my god, I don't even know if I have that on here. I did see Beetlejuice.
The Fall Guy. Remember that movie?
Hell yeah! Who could forget?
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. We saw that.
I forgot that
we did see that.
Existed.
His Three Daughters. I don't think we talked about, but
no.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that one. I know people who fucking love it. I was like, eh. But yeah, shout out. Those are real movies that happened in the year of our Lord 2024. Also, Argyle.
Oh, never even touched it.
It stinks.
Never saw
That's on Apple. I pay for Apple TV Plus, and I will not even hover over the flash screen of that movie.
My brother, I saw that in the movie theater. Oh boy. Bryce Dallas Howard, I love you, but come on. What are we doing?
Also, in a movie that exists, and Dex, you were talking about it earlier about what was it about people trying like sub-dom movies that are coming out this year. This isn't quite a sub-dom movie, but it is like older woman finds young hot boyfriend fanfic. The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway. Sat down and watched that movie on Amazon.
I've heard so much about that this year. Never went and saw it.
It's a Harry Styles fanfic. Sure. Yeah. Tej, any more horror movies that we're missing? Because I have been off on that.
Unfortunately, I have to bring up the first 20 to 25 minutes of Longlegs.
Yeah, you do.
It may be the height of horror for the year for me, even though that film fucking stinks. That first 20 minutes had me so locked in, so locked in, and I will give them credit for that 20, 25 minutes. I will give them credit for
that. As y'all know, I'm not a horror guy, but like, I'm just suck it up. I got to be in there for Nosferatu. I just have to be there.
Oh, brother.
Real cinema. I cannot fucking wait. I have been waiting. Eggers is my goat. He will not let us down. Nosferatu is going to be real cinema. I can't fucking wait.
I will be there.
We have said Eggers has made 2 and like a quarter great movies. And
Man,
I'm there for it.
Eggers just knows what gets me going, man. He makes his
Do I own The
other than
Northman?
Lighthouse.
I might pop on The Northman tonight, guys.
God, that movie's so
The
good.
Northman, the greatest Christmas movie ever made. The Northman. Who doesn't want to see their mother?
Many people are saying
that when the mom tries to sleep with her son, it is a great Christmas miracle. Many people have said that.
Jesus.
So it's a great film.
When he caught that spear with one hand and threw it back in one motion, that's a Christmas miracle, right?
That might have been the greatest thing I've ever seen on screen. Like
this continues.
I will never forget that.
This continues our 15 or wait, our 150 episode streak of talking about the Northman.
We are the #1 Northman podcast.
When he caught that spear, I think a part of me changed. I literally feel like a piece of me changed. Like that's just insane to put in your film.
So anything else we want to talk about? How do we fix the NBA ratings that everybody's bitching and moaning about? How do we do that?
Talk about the fact that Indiana didn't belong in the playoff and they fucking stink. Get them out of here. Get them out of here.
Have you seen that Indiana hasn't beat Notre Dame since 1898?
Jesus.
What a disgusting. Now I got to hear takes about how Notre Dame.
I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that's true. I want to believe that's true.
Notre Dame's finally won a big game. No, you didn't. You beat a fucking Indiana team. No one respects Indiana. Sorry. Thanks for coming.
I saw something that said they've only played each other like twice since like 1958 or something like that. And I'm
haven't played each other since 1991. Like, how's that possible?
Y'all are in the same state. Like, what?
Now I know why Indiana doesn't want to play these guys because they fucking stink and they're not ready to be on the field with them. And our first playoff game ever on campus turned out to be a dud, and that stinks. That just stinks. Nobody wanted that. And hopefully the Texas Clemson game is 100 times worse and a complete shit show, and no one's watching it in the second half as Arch Manning is destroying Clemson's soul.
Why is Arch Manning playing? You have Quinn Ewers.
I can tell you why
hopefully we'll be up by so many points that Arch will be playing the whole second half.
Arch Manning will be playing because Quinn Ewers is going to dig y'all a 14-point lead deficit in the third quarter, and Sark is going to be like, "Oh shit, I gotta
save my job."
I really hope that Quinn is not on bullshit on set.
This is y'all's Tua Jalen Hurts moment. This is it. It's happening. Just accept it, brother. Quinn Ewers is not him. I know you know it. I know
I do agree with that. I just hope that it's not tomorrow where that comes out. It's not about Quinn Ewers. Run the ball, play defense, and win the ball game by 28. Hopefully that's
okay. So I found it, and I think it is true. The last time that Indiana beat Notre Dame in South Bend was 1898. They won 11-5.
Yikes. Fucking yikes.
Which I didn't know. Can you score 11? How did you score 11? Hold on.
3.
I guess, yeah. Or
a couple safeties in there.
Yeah, a couple of safeties. You miss an extra point, kick a field goal, and then get a safety. That would be hilarious. 1898.
1898.
Oh, well, somebody tweeted Danny Heifetz, that does a fantasy football podcast for The Ringer, tweeted,
"Great show."
Yeah, it is a great show. Indiana hasn't beaten Notre Dame at home since 1898. Red Dead Redemption 2 is set in 1899.
That's so insane. That is insane.
People are riding on horseback and shooting each other out in the West, and they were playing football up in South Bend, Indiana. Anyway.
Fuck that. Honestly, can we just ban the Midwest from the college football playoff? I feel like that would solve a lot of our problems.
That would solve a lot of my problems, personally.
East Coast, West Coast, South.
Wait, is Georgia in the Midwest? Yes, let's ban them.
No.
Let's ban Georgia.
What Midwest are you talking about?
The Midwest plus Georgia is, I think,
where Austin's more Midwest than Georgia is.
Fucking ban them.
They don't got their quarterback, Teej. You're fine.
Yeah, they didn't have the quarterback for the second. We had a lead and they lost the quarterback, and we lost the SEC championship game. So that doesn't make me feel too.
Look, Tej, if you wanted to keep losing conference championships, y'all could have stayed in the Big 12.
Look, this is ridiculous.
Listen, brother. There's a long time between now and when y'all would play Georgia again.
That's true.
17 of them are going to be arrested for speeding. That's going to be okay.
That's a really good point.
Like, there's so much time. One of them is getting a fucking Hellcat for Christmas, and it's going to be hell in the streets of Athens. But
that's a good point.
Y'all will be fine.
Oh my God! All right, that has been a One Take podcast, episode 190. We're gonna take some time off for Christmas break, also because like Sonic 3 is the only movie that's out right now, which is actually kind of good. First Sonic movie, I think we reviewed on this podcast.
Yeah, we did.
I still haven't seen any of the Sonic movies, but I love Sonic
of the pandemic.
I need to tap in because I loved Sonic as a kid, and everybody keeps saying these films are good, so I'm going to tap in eventually.
I haven't seen the second
Sonic
one
too. I'll fuck it. Maybe if I have some downtime, I'll catch up on the Sonic franchise. But Nosferatu, I'm in there.
Yeah. So what is coming out on Christmas?
Baby Boy or Baby Girl is coming out. I will be seated for that as well. Watching Nicole Kidman and be a sub-dom kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And I'm probably going to check out eventually the Bob Dylan thing, even though I'm not a big fan of the musical stylings of Bob Dylan. But given what Chalamet has accomplished this year, and given the fact that I think it's going to be an Oscar movie, or at least he's going to be nominated, I think I'm going to check out the Bob Dylan movie.
Yeah, Nosferatu, a complete unknown, double podcast, double viewing podcast.
A complete Nosferatu.
A complete Nosferatu. I'm into that.
All right, let's do it. So the next review that
Nosferatu. I'm into it.
Yeah, the next review that you will hear from us will be over at least Nosferatu, because we're going to be the sick freaks in there on Christmas week. So
fucking wait.
I'm going to drag my family to that.
Yeah, I apologize to like the AMC workers who are like, "Why the fuck are there people here on Christmas?" It's because I ain't got shit else to do, brother.
We haven't talked about how weird of a Christmas release that is, but shout out Robert Eggers for doing that. That's really funny. Yeah, great bit. Anyway, that has been a One Take podcast. You can find us at One Take Podcast, One Take Podcast on Twitter. Thank you for people that have been leaving reviews online. We appreciate that. Continue to do that. It really helps us do this for no money whatsoever, but it helps our self-esteem. So leave a 5-star review. And I hope you all have a wonderful holidays and Merry Christmas. And Dex, as always, what are we doing?
# support Florence Pugh. Shout out to We Live in Time.
All right.